Hello everyone, welcome back to day one Dev, the channel. As previously we seen one of our DevOps pipeline how to build Spring Pet Clinic using Jenkins pipeline, and also the pipeline script is available here. I think most of you guys have seen it, but still on there's a lot of commands here. You can see here I'm using a Maven and all the stuff. I found a better way. If you're a JFrog Artifactory customer, then you should use a JFrog CLI, a tool, a build tool. It's a wrapper over a lot of Java, which is a Maven, Gradle, and Node, Python, Docker. It supports a lot of packages. And you can see here, there's a lot of documentation how to do this. And definitely, I see that if you're Artifactory customer, there's a lot of value added information it's going to be. And I do highly recommend use this tool. All right. So let's get on it for a few quick seconds. It supports most of our packages you can see here. And there's a lot of documentation. You can go here and you can look at it. Now, why I'm talking about this, I'll go over that too, where I'll show you some pipeline. You might have seen this video already has been published a few months back or maybe a few weeks back. And I can see here I'm doing a Maven test fire, shoot test, or create a build. So there are a few part of things can be improvised if you're using a JFrog CLI. One of them is when you do this build, and if you're using an Artifactory product, JFrog product, and after you're done these packages, it creates a jar file and a POM file where you'll be exclusively uploading this file. But if you use a JFrog CLI, the library, the package which you install it as part of your Jenkins, or you can install as part of your developer machine, it will help you to expedite a lot of things. So I'll go over the couple of packages. Let's get a big picture. So I created a stage here called a package. I'll go over why I'm doing this part is I'm going to do more videos on this, how to improvise your DevOps, especially if you're using a JFrog Artifactory stack. So within a package, you might have already seen the init. You can see here JFrog version. Maybe I'll go over the pipeline deep dive. I'll show you the console, all the stuff, and Artifactory config. And I'm just doing a ping whether my JFrog commands can hit my SaaS service or on-prem Artifactory. And I do some configuration show. I was doing it, and this is where our pro code actually starts. So this is where the clone. You can check out a code, and you're setting some Maven configurations. Then you set the environment variables. I'll also talk in future videos what is the value of these environment variables based on scenarios. There are a couple of scenarios, but for this recording, I think this may not be value added for you, this one, but just I want you to remember this part. All right. So then we're going to talk about the audit. The audit is more, it's going to be used, especially if you are using security tools like Xray of a JFrog product. This is also a JFrog product for entire DevSecOps. If you're more aligned to that, we do an audit of your packages. Then this is where we do a build, which you are seeing that is just like similar to a Maven clean install. You are not changing a lot, but there are small minor enhancements you can do over the script. I'll go over that. All right, then finally, you'll do a scan of your binaries. All right, so this session, we talk about this part level. So now let's do a build. So you can see here, I have 7 packages are created. Now I'm going to do a build. Let's, when the build is going on, we'll talk about every stage. All right, so if you see here, let me, okay, oops, what did it do? Okay, all right. So if you see here, I have a version number. We just printed out my JFrog CLI version, which I'm using it. It's 2.63 for a package. So you download the latest version. The day I installed this package, I think it was in 2.63, and you might, if you're watching a video, it might be a little newer version. Then I just do a ping of my Artifactory, just checking what Artifactory I'm using it. You can see here my credentials are still secrets. And I do a ping to Artifactory, which is I'm using a debug mode. So that's why you see a lot of our URLs has been listed out here. Then this is what my configuration I was doing it. You can see here I'm setting a debug mode. So generally you don't need to do that. But if you're setting this, you can see the URLs, the REST APIs of a JFrog, what you're hitting. So you can see here my JFrog config has been created with this Artifactory and Xray. You can see here. All right. Now there's a step where I'm doing a clone of my same public repository, which is coming from a Spring PetClinic. I did not change any code at all. And the Maven config, this is an interesting one. You have to see this. This is similar to your setting up your settings.xml file if you're a Java guys, and where you're configuring which repository path you have to do it. So here I'm setting my Artifactory service name or service server ID and which repository I need to set it up, which is I do a virtual. So just on a call out here, virtual, I have multiple local repositories and I have one remote repository. So when I say multiple locals, I'll also go over what do you mean by multiple. You can see here I have a dev. So I'll create a QA and a production. I'll also call out in next stages, next videos, why dev is doing it, or QA, why I use the terms as the three terms, dev, QA, and prod. For now, let's stick to the dev because I'm creating a package. It will be automatically the package will be deployed to my dev, but the upload I'll be doing towards my virtual. The package will be deployed to a dev environment. All right. So now it's coming to environment variables where you can see here, I'm just putting in just standard variable calling as a web application. Now, this is the interesting point. I want to closely observe. This is an audit I'm doing it. This is one of a JFrog CLI command. If you're an Xray customer, you will be using an audit. And I'm setting here Maven because the package of my Java is going to be Maven. So I'm setting it and extendable table format. That means I'm printing everything in table format and in simple JSON format. So what it does, if I scroll down the log level, you can see here, all these details, it prints it out. What is a classifier? What is a jar? What kind of issues it might have it, and the packages, all the stuff. So if I scroll down at the bottom, you can see this. I'll show you the value of this audit. It's going to be in the scenario. So if you come to a severity level on audit, you can see here, this is what the information is going to be value added for your information security, as well as any vulnerabilities has been under your dependencies of a jar file which you are using from form.xml, right? So this is what was going to give you a lot of value added, and it will have some valuable information for you. The code level, you can see here, a lot of information. It spits out, and it's going to be easier for a developer, Java developer, to read it, understand, and fix the vulnerabilities. So you can see all this CV information is coming out. All right. So that was the reason you can do this if you're not using a JFrog CLI, but still this simplifies a lot of a wrapper over calling the APIs using a curl command, and every time you have to pass your credentials to if you're a SaaS customer or you're a self-hosted Artifactory. All right. So audit is always recommended to do before build. That means you did not created any of your packages here, jar file, you did not generate it from your target folder. So now when it comes to a build, which I want to call out, if you see here, as we discussed previously, I'm using here just the same as the Maven command, what we used it before, but just added a prefix of a JF because this is a JFrog CLI. We do it. Then I'm doing a scan again. You can see here true. There are two options. One, if you are using a here -- scan equals to true, the scan step is not required. It's one of the steps we can use it. Either you provide it here or you can do a scan here. Okay, the build name I'm just provided based on my project, or it's a hard coded in your Jenkins file. And the build number is always your, which I use, my Jenkins job number is my build number. All right. Then I have a detailed summary I printed out. It is only for developer perspective, the value you're going to get it from this, right? So what happens with this? Why I need to provide this build name and build number? This will be value added for you for my next videos, where we're going to do packages. I'll go over why this information is going to be value added. But today we are focusing on how your Maven commands will be wrapped with the JFrog CLI commands. All right. So it will not change anything. It will do, it's just a wrapper over your ambient command. You can see here entire stuff is been, but at the final we set a scan, security scan, it will be doing. And one more advantage you're going to get is if you're using this JF Maven file, the command which we use it here, this one. If you are not using this JF command, once you create a packages, you are the responsible using a curl command, using the REST APIs of Artifactory. You have to push your jar file and POM file to a particular package structure based on your POM group ID and artifact ID format, right? So that becomes your responsibility. But if you use a JFrog CLI, you don't need to do that. When this build has been done, this package will show up in your Artifactory. You can see here, you can see my time right now. You can see here 17:15. So it should be here something pretty close to the time. So if you see here, we have 3 files has been pushed. Already selected here 3 files. There's a jar, which is a stand of your project, which is created in a target, and there's a POM of your jar. This is standard, no issues. All right. So I'll go over this file also, what it's generated here. This is the generated cyclone DX because of this scan equals to true. What is this cyclone? We'll talk about that in a few minutes. All right. So this will have all the information about your scan vulnerabilities. Again, same thing, just we did it audit. But one part is the audit does not pull your cyclic dependencies, what you have been defined in a POM, that's only scanning it. But when you do a scan, it's also looking at the entire dependency graph of that packages. So for example, if you see here, it detects all the secrets information here. Is there any license compliance issues you have it? All the stuff it summarizes for you in a pretty good, nice way. And this JSON file, it's available is this one. So if I pull this file, let me open this one for you to see it. It's exactly same what has been splitted out, your vulnerability information, and you can see all this. There's a format that's been created, and you can see this in WhatsApp information. You can see all this information here for which you can share with your security team or your DevSecOps team, security team. Right? So the scan as I called out, it's a pretty much the same. You can avoid this command. You can see here JF scan is start, which is calling Xray, and you can use our as part of this one scan equals to true. So you can use one of these two option, but it's your choice which route you want to pick it up. All right. So I hope you learned this today about how to replace with your Maven commands using a JFrog CLI, and that's a package. So in the next video, I'll talk about a package. It's going to be here. We're going to talk about the SPOM, right? It's going to help you understand what is that SPOM is. Right, and subscribe to Day One Dev, and I'm going to see you in the next video.